In the last video, we talked about how we got here. Now we're going to talk about where we're going. Account analysis does not work in a straight line like many people think. It really has no beginning and it has no end. It's infinite. This is the Zafin account analysis infinity. And it's a connected process that goes through the entire customer lifecycle from beginning to end, and it never ends. So let's talk a little bit about this. In order to effectively service our corporate customers through account analysis, the first thing that we need to have is an effective catalog of our products. And along with those products, we need to be able to track everything that we charge for, how we set rates, how we set standard prices, but we also need to have a complete customer 360 view of everyone that we're selling to. We need to know all of the different things about the customers so that we can marry together the products we're going to sell with the customers and knowing what they're like. Once we have those foundational elements in place, we move on to the point where our sales team is engaging with our customers and managing deals. This is deal negotiation. This is where the treasury management team is selling different things to the corporate customers based on what they ask for. This is where we develop bespoke or exception-based pricing and come up with a deal that will help our bank win the business. This can be a very complex and competitive thing, but with Zafin's Deal Manager, we make that a lot easier by automatically generating pro forma statements, by automatically bringing in things like benchmark pricing so that I can have an idea of how my competition is likely pricing it, by modeling out the entire scenario of what I'm giving or offering to the customer along with the commitments that they're offering back. Now, what comes out of that is something we call an arrangement. It's like a package of everything that we sold to the customer and everything that they agreed to. That package, that arrangement, is then executed directly into the billing system, the actual pricing and billing account analysis manager. But what's different about how it is in many banks today is that execution happens automatically. Everything that got sold, everything that got committed to, all of the prices, all of the volumes, all of the services make it into the pricing and billing engine quickly and efficiently so that I can bill sooner, and I can also ensure that I'm not going to have errors on the bills I send to my customers. So once we've executed on that, the customer starts using their accounts, transactions happen, they automatically come into the feed and into our billing engine or the account analysis manager. Now, most people think of this billing process, your traditional sort of account analysis, as a monthly thing that happens at the end of the month. And it's a time where I often say we get our statements to the customers just in time for them to be useless. With Zafin's account analysis, we're able to get the interface information on a daily basis as the month is happening. And we can solve a lot of problems by doing it that way. And it's only possible because of our powerful integration tools that are built into the system. And so by doing this, we actually build the statement as it goes, and we're able to deliver the statement sooner in a more accurate fashion and give our treasury customers information that they need in time for them to take action on it. Now let's think about this billing process though. If you think about what's getting processed into account analysis, it's a massive amount of data. Every volume for every service, the price charged for every service, everything about every account for every customer. It's a massive data warehouse that we end up right here in the billing system. And because of our powerful analytic tools that have both rules-based and AI-based ways of looking at things, I can now analyze all of that and see it quickly and easily in ways that I can use to take action. It's part of what it takes to become an agile bank. Visibility and transparency into what's happening is absolutely key. And that gives me the ability to go in and understand what's happening at all times, to detect anomalies before I send out an error in a statement, and to really understand which customers are doing great, which customers maybe have had a windfall, which are possibly thinking of leaving my bank, all by behavior that I can now observe in all of this information. Now, the final step in all of this is a point that's a hole in many banks today, and that's where we actually renew these agreements with the customers. That arrangement that we talked about that came out of the deal, it's typically a time-bound arrangement, and we want to be able to let the sales team know, hey, it's time to renew this deal before it expires rather than 5 years after it expires. So the renewal process is an important and automated part to this never-ending cycle. But another part that happens in this area is what we call repricing. Now, repricing is typically a product-driven approach where I say, I need to hit new revenue or profitability benchmarks from my various treasury products. How am I going to do that? So it's a set of modeling tools for one that allows me to model different scenarios, compare that again to benchmark pricing information that's available, and determine my pricing strategy for the coming year or whatever my next period is. But it also automatically takes those models and pushes them against the customer information so I can observe and see if there's any customers that I might overburden by the changes that I'm going to make in my repricing event. It really closes the entire thing, and that is the account analysis infinity.